Hey guys, Ruby the Realtor here. I hope everybody's having a great day today. I have a special treat for you today. Today I'm joined by Eric Maya, who's with Cherry Creek Mortgage, and he's going to help us in understanding and answering questions that are on everyone's mind today about the economy and the real estate market. So Eric, I'll let him introduce himself and then ask him some questions.
Eric Maya here. I'm with Cherry Creek Mortgage. I'm a residential mortgage lender here in the Houston area, and I'm excited to be here and to answer your questions. Ruby, shoot ahead.
Okay, so my first question, Eric, do you anticipate interest rates going up?
They've already gone up. The Fed lowered the rate during the pandemic to encourage Americans to buy and sell and refinance. So that was historically low rates. Right, so now that COVID is something that we've all gotten used to, it's the new norm. Since the beginning of the year, rates have already gone up and they've stayed there. And the truth of the matter is that rates have actually come down over the last couple of weeks. So I anticipate this, for them to stay flat, to stay where they're at for the time being.
Okay, well good to hear. And let me ask you this, is it still a good time to buy?
Absolutely, because you want to look at a lot of people, we focus on just what's happening now. And our feelings, right? But the truth of the matter is that when you're buying, you have to look at data, not, hey, I feel like there's a market crash that's going to happen. So that's a feeling, right? The fact is that the rates are at 30-year lows. The average 30-year interest rate over the last 30 years is about a 7.5. A fact is that inventory is up and that there's less buyers out there. So if you focus on the facts, instead of the feeling of, hey, are those rates going to come back down, then it's a great time to buy because interest rates are at 30-year lows and inventory is creeping back up and there's less competition.
Okay, good. And another question I'm getting from my buyers is, these down payment assistance programs, are they still available right now?
Yes, and a lot of people might have heard that they started to become more difficult to get or take longer during the pandemic, and they did because that's when everybody tightened their regulations and raised their credit score requirements and things like that. But now that things are starting to stabilize and normalize, all those programs are out there available. So if you're short on funds or you want to keep more money in your pocket when you're out there buying a home, don't let that stop you. We have programs out there that are available.
Good, that's great to hear.
Yep.
So another thing, what is the big difference between pre-qualification and pre-approval?
The biggest difference, that's a great question because the biggest concern of sellers is that the buyer, and it should be for the buyer as well, that they're fully pre-approved. So what that means is that a lot of times people go online or they call someone and give information over the phone, and it takes like 2 seconds to do. And within a couple of minutes, they get a letter saying, hey, you're pre-approved, they're pre-qualified. That's a pre-qualification letter. That's not worth anything, right? So you want to make sure that you're working with a local lender that goes through the process of verifying everything to make sure that the client is getting a true pre-approval to make sure that they close and that they close on time and that they can also win in this market.
Right, so pre-approval is more attractive to your sellers whenever you're presenting these different offers in a multiple offer situation.
Absolutely, 100%. A pre-approval is solid and you can count on that to get to the closing table and to get there on time.
Okay, well good.
And do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
So my number one question that I'm getting from a lot of clients is this a good time to sell? Because some of them want to sell and use that equity to put a big down payment on the new home to keep their payment about the same. So is it still a good time to sell?
Yes, it is still a good time to sell because the demand is still there. People are still buying homes. They're coming from everywhere, especially here in Houston, fourth largest city in the US. We have a great economy, the inflation is low, there's still a lot of jobs out there, so people are still purchasing these homes. The inventory is still pretty low. So with that, interest rates, like Eric touched on, they are relatively okay. They're not insane over the past 30 years, like you said, 7.5%. So it's still a great time to sell, just like it is to buy. So definitely.
Awesome. And what should, now, there's a lot of real estate agents out there. I think last time I checked, it was like 20,000 in the Houston area. It's probably like a lot more since then. But what should someone look for in a realtor when hiring somebody?
I would say get a realtor who you can relate to, somebody who you trust somebody, because trust is big, right? You have, this person is representing either buying or selling something that's massive. That's a huge decision that you're gonna make in your life. It's one of the biggest. So you definitely wanna find someone that you can trust, someone that cares about your interests, who takes everything into consideration, has a timeline and works with you, and has your best interest in mind. So definitely those are characteristics that set your realtor apart from everybody else. You have to trust that person, relate to that person, because this is a huge transaction, guys. Take it very seriously.
Yeah, one of the biggest investments of most people's lives. And last but not least, what sets you apart from other realtors in the marketplace?
So I communicate with my clients from day one, cradle to crave, like they say in oil and gas, cradle to crave. So from the minute I talk to you, I set up and I find out what your goals are, and I walk you through the whole process, whether it's buying or selling, constantly communicating with you at least once a week, touching base, making sure we're on the same page. I'm not just gonna send you a listing alerts and let you tell me, oh, you know, Ruby, what's going on? I'm gonna be reaching out to you. So you don't have to come and ask me what's going on. I'm gonna let you know this is where we're at. Are we on the same page? Is there something I need to change? And guys, the team, it's all about the team that you work with. You know, because like they say, with a child, it takes a village. In real estate transactions, it takes a village. You need a great team, lender, title company, home warranty company, everybody, and I have a great team on my side.
There you go, teamwork makes the dream work, and if you're looking for a great real estate agent, reach out to Ruby and hire her. She's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one.